Cursed Sight is a visual novel released by Inverted Mouse in 2015. The creator was nice enough to give me a copy of the game to review quite a while ago, and I finally got around to playing it. So, now that I finally gave it a shot, what do I think? I think Cursed Sight is a pretty interesting and well-written game, though there are a few minor plot issues, and it can feel a bit cliche and predictable at some points. Still, it's a good little visual novel with pleasing visuals and a rather heartwarming story. The story of the game, in brief, is something like this. Being able to control fate would be a blessing for many. To Mion, it is her greatest curse. East and West Taria are in conflict, and Mion's power will be the most valuable weapon. Meanwhile, Guy has been sold by his family into Mion's temple. Will the two save or destroy one another? The story follows Guy through his life after he's been sold to slavery, and it goes on to describe his relationship with Mion, a girl with strange and frightening powers. It's kind of a mix of fantasy, war drama, and slice of life. The plot of the game is pretty interesting, though I found it a little predictable. Although your protagonist is your typical snarky, down on his luck everyman, you do understand why he's so bitter. His parents sold him into slavery, so I might be a little pissed at the world as a result as well. You get sucked into Guy's life and his interaction with Mion and her friend, and it's sort of a coming-of-age story where Guy learns how to be a better person, matures, etc. There are also only a few main characters, and basically two plots. The first being about Guy's life, and then the second being about the war in the background. So the story feels very focused. It's a coming-of-age story, a tale about the curse of fate and overcoming the fate you've been given. These themes are all nothing new, and the plot twists aren't much new either. There's some convenience, some predictable plot points, and some melodrama as well. However, it's the good writing that keeps this one from being too cliche and not worth a read. The writing got a few chuckles out of me, the characters are all well characterized and feel kind of three-dimensional, and the plot doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a very to-the-point kind of game. I did like the main character, Mion, and the rest, even if I didn't enjoy the overall plot so much, and just enjoying these characters is good in and of itself. Another problem I had with the game was the really big time skip in the middle of the plot, which just felt like I was missing a whole chunk of the game. It felt really jarring for some reason. I just would have liked to see a bit more about how Guy adjusted to this world and adjusted to his life as a slave. I think that was really probably my favorite part of the game, was seeing his reaction and seeing him and how he adjusted to this new kind of life. Still, regardless, the overall plot was pretty predictable and not personally that compelling to me. I did find that the writing and the characters make this short visual novel worth the read, and I really did enjoy it. The gameplay is your typical visual novel affair with about 45,000 words, which works out to be somewhere between 2 to 10 hours depending on how fast you read. There are also some choices that lead you to about 4 different endings. The graphics in the game are definitely a highlight. It's a good-looking title with vibrant and memorable characters, interesting locations, and beautiful colors. The backgrounds have decent variety and detail that really help you get into the world. The music is a little more underwhelming. I can't recall any of the songs off the top of my head, but I don't recall any negatives either, so no problems here. To conclude, Cursed Sight is a nice little visual novel. It clearly didn't have a huge budget or anything, and it kind of shows sometimes, but they did a great job with what they had. It's a neat little story with likable and memorable characters, though it is a bit cliche and rough around the edges at some points in my opinion. If you're interested in a dramatic plot dealing with fate, love, and war, then you're probably going to get something good out of this one. Anyways, it comes recommended. Thanks for watching.